Is being a comedian a dangerous profession? That's something I have to ask myself in this day and age. Is being a stand-up comic the most hazardous, dangerous profession known to mankind? You wouldn't think so, that having going to a comedy club or a restaurant or a bar or a nightclub to tell a bunch of jokes, you wouldn't think of that as a dangerous profession. You're probably thinking more of a firefighter, an EMT, even those people that climb scaffoldings of buildings. But you wouldn't think a comic would be so hazardous. But in this day and age, and with the examples we've shown of what happened at the Oscars with Will Smith and Chris Rock, what's been happening with Dave Chappelle and the cancel culture movements that have stowed with them, to even the other examples of comics that are being pressured and being censored, and to the point of violent attacks happening on people that are supposed to heal with humor. And it's one of the things I admire the most about comics, the most I admire about people in the professional arts, and having the profession of gathering a room of individuals, strangers together to tell a bunch of jokes. It's just so admirable, and it's amazing. And I respect those people. I respect people that can be able to do that. That's why I have such a high tolerance and high respect for comedians out there, for their art, for their craft, for their wisdom. And now we're seeing it in full force of retaliation to the point of violent attacks. And it's happening to, it puts comedians in a dangerous position. It puts the danger of comedy even higher. And here's another example of it. Just recently involved a New Jersey club, Uncle Vinny's, where this young woman comic gets a can of beer thrown at her for making jokes. So she's getting whipped by aluminum cans, a full can of beer thrown at the comedian for telling jokes. And you're starting to see more of this, and like I said, it puts comedians, comics with a target on their back, and it puts even more pressure on the industry that stuff like this happens more often. It just normalizes the culture of violent attacks against people that are trying to make you laugh, trying to make you give a sense of humor. You know, I believe in the healing power of humor. And it's insane and barbaric. But take a look for yourself. So take a look.
What's your question?
Did you vote for Donald Trump?
Did I vote for Donald Trump? What do you think?
No.
Okay. Here's a question for you.
So she's doing a little Q&A. She's trying to interact with the audience, and a lot of comics do this kind of engagement to the crowd, see what they're into. And you can hear the woman asking if she voted for Donald Trump. Which, really, first of all, you're going to ask that question in a comedy club? Like, people are just sick and tired of the politics. They're sick and tired of the political divide. They already see the news. They already talk with other individuals. Why even bring it up? Why even mentioning it? Why are you even starting that conversation? Because you know it's going to blow back. You know people are going to get pissed off. It's going to make this room even more divisive. And it's just, you're adding more stress to a place that doesn't need more stress. Like, anyway, but it gets worse.
Why would you ask me that in here, knowing I'm the only Jew in this room? Are you trying to get me killed?
So she makes a joke about it. Why would you ask me that? Why would you ask me something stupid like that? So I admire this comedian for taking on herself and being holding herself, knowing that this heckler could do something dangerous and radical in this day and age.
If it makes you feel any better, I vote in New York. My vote doesn't matter there. It doesn't matter here either. It doesn't matter, guys. Guys, everybody vote for whoever you want to vote. I don't care who you voted for. I'm just happy we're all here together.
So you voted for.
So she makes a point. It doesn't matter. I don't care who you voted for. You vote for whoever you want, and I'm just happy we're all there. Which is kind of the motto I kind of live for. I kind of live in that moment and that motto. Because I just don't understand the people. And I get that people, you know, want to be expressive and they, you know, want to put a vocal support. And I get that. I get that. At the same time, though, I don't understand people that are like, you know, out loud and proud of being, you know, vote blue no matter who, or I'm going to vote for this person. I'm definitely going to vote for this, and I'm going to definitely, you know, vote for this candidate. Like, when it really comes down to it, the real decision is between you and the ballot box. Like, nobody else really matters in your decision making. It comes down to you. It comes down on your decision. Your individual decisions. So why are you... I just don't understand that. I just don't understand that. That the people that are the most vocal on their, you know, votes or whatever, and then they get attacked and demonized. It's just, it's not helping your case. I just don't understand that. But anyway, that's just my take.
For Biden.
I don't know. Why does it matter? Yeah, so what? Why does it matter?
I can just tell by your jokes you voted for Biden.
Why are we talking
All right.
I can tell from your jokes you voted for Biden. Is that the kind of world that we're in right now? That any of our, you know, speaking points, anything that we do on a daily basis is now deciding our political faith? It's like one of those psychology rooms where if you sit on the left side, you're considered an egotistical maniac, but if you sit on the right side, you're secretly in love with your mother. You're like, you know, those kind of nefarious plots where a psychoanalyst is observing you and deciding, you know, what your reaction to certain things are, and however you react or make a decision on, that's kind of the personality you sway. That's just the kind of vibe I'm getting from this. Like, your jokes somehow represent that you voted for Biden. Did she say that she voted for Biden? Did she say out loud and proud, yeah, I voted for Joe Biden because Trump is awful? No, I'm pretty sure she's just telling jokes about, you know, an awful date she had. Or, you know, a bad high school experience. Jesus.
Right? I can tell by the fact that you're still talking when nobody wants you to that you voted for Trump.
So she makes a comment back, and the room is chanting. The room is applauding to the fact that nobody wants this conversation. Nobody wants this heckling. Like, this is just stupid. It's utterly stupid. And I've seen hecklers. I've seen, you know, there's TikToks, there's YouTube shorts all about these times where people get heckled and they think they're getting their 15 minutes of fame where, oh, I'm going to take down so-and-so on stage. I'm way smarter than you. And really, when you look at it, it's just dumb, trolling BS. It really is. And that's what this woman claiming that she's a Biden supporter based on her jokes. That's what she's doing. She's just trying to troll her and psych her out to somehow get her 15 seconds of fame. Like, it's just stupid.
Alright, make some noise if you want her to shut up. But I did ask if anybody had any questions. I didn't think it was going to be... That's on me. That was on me for thinking I could have a human interaction with somebody. That's my fault. No, look, I'm such an insecure person. Here, I'll tell you the rest of that bit, and then we'll move on. I'm so insecure. I went and got an IUD.
They threw they threw a beer can at her. So a sane, rational person would walk out. A sane, rational person. And we shown in the last time we shown you about a comedian getting heckled. It was in BC, and they had to take it to court, and this woman was retaliating against, the comedian, the restaurant, and everything. We just thought how sociopathic that was. This is a violent attack. You're whipping a full can of beer at a young woman that's trying to lighten the room up. You're throwing a full can of beer. First of all, wasteful. Have you seen the price of alcohol? That's wasteful. That's wasteful, man. I'm just disgusted by that alone. But the fact that you would do this at a comedy club just shows you have no patience, you have no tolerance, you have no sense of humor. And if you don't like that person, you are not forced to stay there. They're not strapping you into these comedy clubs as a cult and forcing you to listen to this lady tell jokes. You're allowed to leave. You're allowed to make that decision. But to get your 15 seconds of trolling and being an annoying little shit at a comedy club, it shows how stupid you are. It shows how ridiculous you are. And at what point, what purpose were you trying to prove here? What was the purpose of you interrupting a comedy bit based on political beliefs? What was the point of it? What was the purpose? What was the hopeful outcome of it? But let's see this again.
And then we'll move on. I'm so insecure. I went and got an IUD. Oh!
Come on, buddy. Thank you. Are you fucking kidding me? Yo, I'm never coming out with these people.
So people are freaked out. Why this woman would throw a full can of beer at a comic. And people are in shock by this. And she goes to pick up the beer. I wonder what she's going to do with it.
Ever again. Straight up? Yeah.
And that's why I respect comedians. That is why I have huge amount of respect for people like that. I have huge amount of respect for comedians that are able to hold their own, deal with hecklers, and then do something like that. Because that just puts the cherry on top. She took the beer that almost killed her and chugged it down to say, you know what? Screw you. I'm doing my performance anyway. That is awesome. And that is, here's the comedian here. This is Ariel Elias. She's a comedian living in New York City. Growing up, this Kentucky Jew made everyone laugh at her bar mitzvah. And the rest is history. Today, her comedy is a fun mesh of unique personal stories mixed with witty and wry observations. Ariel has been described as a sly young comic from Kentucky by the New York Times. She is also a contributor writer to As Goes Wisconsin, a news and political-based show for, you guessed it, Wisconsin notably. She has also written for Will Smith's Snapchat show, Will From Home, as performed on the new set of the Marvelous Miss Maisel. Wow, she has an impressive resume. In 2021, she was named a Just for Laughs new face. When not performing or writing, she's probably petting a dog or struggling through a puzzle. Way to go. Way to go. Champs to her. To deal with a situation like that, to deal with a knucklehead like that. And that's why I asked the question. That's why I wonder, is comedian now a dangerous occupation in this day and age? To getting slapped in the face, to being canceled out of society, to getting a beer can thrown at you. Just for making a room laugh. Is it now time to declare it as a dangerous position? Because now comedians are being struggled and have this target on their back and They're feeling the pressure of society that a heckler isn't just a heckler anymore. They're not just interrupting a show. They can now violently attack a person and cause havoc, cause chaos, and endanger the livelihood. Like, it's the ultimate questions have to be asked in this day and age. But kudos to her. Kudos to her for having the grit, having the spunk to stand on stage and hold her own during that ridiculous scenario. And to that woman, thanks for wasting everyone's time. That's all I can say.